I've made a little game in HTML5 using the ct.js editor. I made an earlier video when I started out this project, testing using a pixie polygon to restrict a walkable area for a labyrinth with many rooms. It turned out very well. You will find a link to that video in the text below. You will also find links to where you can play the finished game as a free browser game. In this video, I'm going to talk about layers and depth in building the graphics of the game. The graphics are built up by a number of different images rendered on top of each other in a certain order, together making up the image shown on the screen. Depth is numbers for in which order the images are being rendered. Images can be loaded into the editors as textures, and textures can be used as a background image for a room, or they can be used as an asset in a template. A copy, or more than one copy, can be made from the template, and this can be added to a room. It can be added as a room start event. Each template has a depth property that is transferred to a copy made from that template. A copy can also be given a different depth in the game. Even when two copies have the same depth, one must be rendered before the other. If they overlap, the one that is rendered later will be on top of the one rendered earlier. Depth can be set in whole numbers or in decimal numbers. The room that is the main scene of this game has a 4000 by 4000 pixel background image. The screen size is 640 by 480 pixels. The background image is of the floor and the walls of the labyrinth, or of the castle in this case. There are some ornaments on the walls and some skulls and bone parts in some of the corners. The background is a 3/4 top-down view. Everything in this image will be below all other images rendered into the room. Next above it is a layer where the player character and the non-player character moves. The depth of each character is set to the Y position at the feet of each character divided by 10. For the rats, the position is in the middle of the rat. This makes the character being rendered on the top of other characters when overlapping if the character is further down the room and those closer to the viewer. Next we have a layer with the doors between the rooms. The depth is set on the template level, comparing the door's position with the position of the player character, making sure that the door covers the player character when the character is behind the door, and vice versa. Next level is the black walls. They are also on the background image. By repeating these walls in this layer, if a character and these walls overlap, the walls will be drawn on top of the character. This gives a stronger feeling of 3 dimensions. The grey walls are not in this layer, and will those be behind the characters. The depth for the black wall layer is set at 600, and so this layer always will be above all characters that at most will be close to a depth of 400. The layer also contains some semi-transparent spiderwebs to add to the atmosphere. Next we have a UI layer, user interface. with a semi-transparent background that creates a light effect to the game, focusing on the player character that always will be in the middle of the screen. The UI layer goes on top of everything else. On top of this layer, some images that are user interface stuff will be added using add child. These elements will always be on the same place on the screen, even when the character is moving around in the castle. So, there you have it. This is how this scene is built up using different layers. Thank you for watching, and see you later. Bye!